this meeting is still continuing for more than 4 hours now, but unfortunately for us journalists, most of it has been kept behind closed doors. We were only allowed to listen to the first opening statements made by parliamentarians from Abkhazia, South Ossetia and Transnistria, and one common theme that was there in all the speeches is that Kosovo's declaration of independence has created a positive momentum for independence movements around the world, and particularly on the territory of the former Soviet Union. Here's what the Speaker of the Parliament of Transnistria region of Moldova, the Breakaway region of Moldova, had to say about it.
We want to draw attention to arguments we have both historically and judicially, and I think taking account of the changes in the world resulting from the Kosovo precedent, it is necessary to review Russia's stance towards Abkhazia, South Ossetia and Transnistria.
At the same time, there are some who in some way doubt the legality of Kosovo's independence. Among them is the Deputy Speaker of the South Ossetian Parliament, who claims that his region, South Ossetia, has in fact more solid claims for being independent.
We know that Kosovo was artificially cut off from Serbia. Kosovo had no right to independence. This is a violation of international law. We have never violated Georgia's territorial integrity. We formed our independence earlier than Georgia had become member of the international community, the United Nations.
We have to keep in mind that this is not a formal session of the Russian Parliament. This is just a public hearing, so any decision made today will have the status of recommendation and not be considered legally binding. And as far as you know, among the decisions that, or among the recommendations that the deputies have already passed today, is the suggestion to the Russian government to establish diplomatic missions in these 3 regions. Because these are not independent states, Russia cannot open official embassies there. These 3 issues have lots of similarities. They all started with ethnic tensions in the early 1990s. These led to violence and casualties and refugees on both sides. And for the past decade or so, these 3 regions essentially run their own affairs, even though they haven't been internationally recognized. When it comes to Russia, Russia has been acting as a mediator in all these 3 disputes, and its official position maintains that both Moldova and Georgia are sovereign states, and Russia recognizes their independence. So when it comes to Russia recognizes their territorial integrity, I should say, so we shouldn't expect any swift recognition of independence of these 3 breakaway regions.
President of Abkhazia, Sergei Bagapsh, explains why the republic is trying to develop friendly relations with Russia and not Georgia.
Abkhazia
has always had its statehood. It was also part of the Russian Empire. Abkhazia was part of the USSR, just like any other republic. Unfortunately, it was incorporated into Georgia by Stalin during the 1920s. So if the international community believes Stalin's actions were right, I can only welcome such international law. We're a sustainable nation. If you look at the world, bigger nations are also joining into unions. Abkhazia is no exception. It may join into a union of states, for example Russia, because the Abkhazian nation has always pinned its hopes on Russia. You always see good relations with those who treat you kindly. Georgia has held numerous wars against Abkhazia. There was a genocide against the Abkhazian nation. They wanted to destroy the Abkhazian language and its history. During the war of 1992-1993, they destroyed our monuments, archives, our legacy. They wanted to destroy the Abkhazian ethnicity because of a minority of Georgians. Georgia does not need the Abkhazian nation. They want the Abkhazian territory. Russia was the only country that intervened during the hard war years, acted as a mediator after the war, and still keeps the territory peaceful.